What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we are back with another Marvel Snap video. And I was debating on making this video because I really don't want to be a buzzkill, but we need to talk about the new cards that are coming this month for the Savage Land season, all right? These things are 6,000 tokens apiece, and there's a lot of hype around them, and I don't want you, my lovely viewers out there, to go blowing your tokens on some whack cards, all right? So I'm gonna jump into this, but before I get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris, AKA Bootman, and if you love Marvel Snap as much as I do, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell for a variety of reasons. One of my main goals with this channel is to help all of you, the viewers, to reach infinite each season, all right? I have a background in competitive esports, so as competitive modes come out, like battle mode and everything, I am going to be your guy to discuss this stuff. All right, but I love discussing different cards, breaking down decks, and speaking of Infinite, right before recording this, we hit Infinite, baby. All right, I'll make a video about those decks that I use and everything like that. But also, make sure you're subscribed and join the Discord server. It's down in the description below. We have an awesome community trying to grow this channel to 7,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So check out the description, join us on Discord, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. I'm doing monthly giveaways for season passes. All right, so let's jump into this thing. Let me switch my little view here. All right, so like I said, I don't wanna be a buzzkill, okay? But I try to teach like critical thinking and stuff like that here on the channel as well, which is obviously important in any kind of analytical card game like this one. But what I've noticed is whenever there are new cards that are coming out, there's a lot of hype around them, right? And I might be totally wrong, and I would love to have conversations with all of you down in the comments below. But as I saw the hype coming out around these cards, I was looking at cards like this, like Sauron, and I'm like, I don't know about that, all right? So I wanna discuss, I don't think the cards are terrible. I'm sure people smarter than me will find places to slot them in, but I think one of my abilities or skills is that I look for worst case scenarios. And I think that's very important, especially in Marvel Snap, right? Like a lot of people who ask me, how do you reach infinite? Give me some tips. They're not thinking in worst case scenarios. They're going into snaps and all sorts of stuff. So I want everybody to think of worst case scenarios before dropping 6,000 tokens on a card, okay? Because I don't think any of these cards, except for one, maybe is worth 6,000 tokens, okay? So first up is Sauron, okay? On reveal, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards in your hand and in your deck. Sick, right? That's kind of like Zero. Pretty cool, okay? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is a 3/3 card, all right? It's a 3 cost, 3 power card. It's like Zero, but it does it for your deck and your hand. And go through the ongoing cards. Like, how many really need their ongoing ability removed, right? Like, obviously we have things like, Red Skull, we have like Typhoid Mary and stuff like that. But are you really going to spend 6,000 tokens on like the handful of cards that this is beneficial for? Like, I don't think so, okay? Like, if you got this card in a reserve, if it just, if it downgraded, like I think it would downgrade it to like 1,000 tokens, cool. But the other thing that I want you to remember throughout this video too is you're going to see a lot of YouTubers make videos about this card. You're gonna see a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers getting this card. But remember, I said this in one of my last videos, okay? We are content creators. We make money for our content. We have disposable income to spend on this stuff and show it to you. But part of that with the entertainment value and depending on your ethics when it comes to YouTubers and YouTube content, they will show you the pizzazz and show you these cards and show you how great they are, right? Because that's entertaining. But you, the viewer, you need to be skeptical and you need to be thinking about this, okay? But this is a 6,000 token card that basically does what Zero is used for. You see what I mean? So I couldn't justify, maybe it's because I'm like frugal in real life and like I do a lot of money management and write about personal finance on the side. But yeah, 6,000 tokens for this? Nah, man. All right, next card. Next up, we have Shanna. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at Shanna and you're like, ooh, that's a cool card. On reveal, add a random 1-cost card to each location, which is interesting. I've watched some other people discuss this, and we're not sure if it's like including the location that she's at, right? With Zabu, she's gonna be a 2-cost card. Kinda cool, right? But there's gonna be some downsides. The first one is, I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill every day of the week. Zoo decks are terrible, okay? Say it with me, everybody. Zoo decks are terrible. Like, I just hit infinite. I cannot tell you how many 8-cube wins I got playing against zoo decks. Like, zoo decks are so obvious when they're coming out. You know when they're coming out, and there are two major counters for them. And this is because I run a Majantress deck. My Majantress deck, some of you know, it has Killmonger and it has Enchantress, okay? Those two cards are kryptonite for zoo decks. I obliterate these things. I've done plenty of videos where I'm just laughing my face off playing against zoo decks. And this is a card that seems to fit perfectly in a zoo deck, which is just ripe for the picking. And it's obvious. So say you got Zabu, say you pop out a little Shanna, you pop out a little Khazar, you're feeling all good about yourself, and then boom, Killmonger just takes him out. Because best case scenario, you can armor one lane, right? So are you gonna spend 6,000 tokens on a meta deck that really shouldn't even be played, in my opinion? Do me a favor, if you disagree with me, find me valid decks that are zoo decks that are hitting infinite. Now, as I said that, I remember there's this new like Zoocula deck, right? I haven't gone up against it really, but I imagine it's a similar situation, okay? You toss in Dracula, you have a bunch of one costs, I could still blow their faces up, okay? But the other thing is, remember, think worst case scenarios. Add a random 1 cost to each location, okay? Keyword being random. What if you do not want that 1-cost card at that location? Think about it. The number one card that comes to mind is Ebony Maw, all right? Ebony Maw, you cannot play at that location after it's placed, all right? So that could completely screw up whatever you're gonna do, and you have no control over it. It is a 1-cost card, so it is possible that it will show up. I think a great example of this is, as I was climbing to Infinite, I was using Scarlet Witch in my deck, and I had to take her out and use Storm because Scarlet Witch kept choosing locations or switching to locations that absolutely screwed me. So there's no way on earth that I would ever spend 6,000 tokens on a card that has the potential to make me wanna pull my hair out because it pulled some ridiculous 1-cost card. There are a ton of cards that I'm probably not even thinking of. Maybe you wanna leave a comment down below, but no, like a random card, again, if this gets downgraded, if you get it for free, sure, experiment with it. And I'm sure there's gonna be content creators who make videos about this and they do cool stuff with it, whatever, but like, I just don't see anybody talking about the potential downsides, and this is one where I'm just like, there are some definite red flags there, and I think a lot of people are gonna be upset when they spend 6,000 tokens and then Ebony Maw blocks off a lane that you needed to win, all right? Now, let's talk about Dazzler. Dazzler is in the same camp as Shanna, okay? So check it out. If you have 4 cards at each location, plus 6 power. All right, this seems cool. It sounds very cool. It's a 4-cost. It's gonna work with Zabu. We got some synergy there. Oh, we get a little Zabu, we get a little Shanna, we get a little Dazzler, Khazar, right? We flood the location. People are talking about using Ultron or even like Thanos decks and stuff. Cool. This is a 4/10. Zabu makes it a 2/10. Very cool, right? Again, the decks you're gonna run this in are zoo decks, okay? Remember, this is very easily countered, all right? As somebody who plays with Killmonger and Enchantress, and I'm looking at this as an ongoing card, I am just waiting, right? Because unless you're dropping Dazzler on the last turn, and maybe that's gonna be the strategy, like, I'm gonna see it coming from a mile away, and listen to this. All I have to do is blow up 1 card. That's it. All I need is a Gambit hit. right? Boom, gone. Even if I'm not running Killmonger, right? All I need to do is destroy one card on that location. If you play this card early, all I need to do is Enchantress it, all right? Like, think about that for a second. There are definite downsides to these cards, okay? Like, I am constantly thinking of like, how does my deck that's been helping me get to infinite 3 seasons in a row match up with these new cards coming out, right? And this is a card where I'm like, it is so easy to just knock this thing back to a 4, and you're gonna be sitting there all prepared to have 10 power, you're gonna be snapping into it with all the confidence in the world, and somebody's gonna be waiting to destroy just one of your cards. So again, maybe the strategy is to play this on turn 6 somehow. I'd have to think about it, how you're gonna fill the lane and like play her as the last card, you know what I mean? But again, even if you're doing that, like the signs are there, right? Because the only kind of like surprise you could do is like maybe an Ultron, but how are you gonna play it Ultron and a Dazzler on turn 6, right? I'm gonna see this thing coming turn 5 and I'm either escaping or if I'm staying in, it's because I'm about to blow up one or more cards because not only do I have to destroy just one card, I can use a Killmonger and destroy a lot of cards if you're running a Zoo deck, all right? So proceed with caution before you spend 6,000 tokens on Dazzler, all right? Let's discuss the very last card. Last up, we have Shadow King. And if I'm being honest, I want this card. I want this card so bad. This is the card. This right here. So as you can tell, I am not the type of person where I'm running around spending 6,000 tokens on cards. One of the things I hear all the time, especially with the videos I make about being skeptical, being cautious when you're watching YouTubers and stuff, I hear all the time the regrets people have about how they're spending tokens. It's very rare that I'm like, a card is worth 6,000 tokens, right? This card is going to be legit. Like, mark my words. Like, Absorbing Man is one of the ones that I called. As soon as Absorbing Man came out, I'm like, that card is going to become such a powerful card. People just need to figure out where it sits. Then all of a sudden, Zabu comes out. We're seeing it played all the time in the meta. I've made videos about it, doing like the double Spider-Man, just running it in Bishbu because you can do double Shang-Chi, you could do double Enchantress, so many things. Shadow King, I think, is going to be very similar, okay? This card, I cannot wait for it. Its ability changed. Like the previous ability, I was like, I can see this being halfway decent, but when they updated it and made it this, and the fact that it's a 4 cost, the fact that I can drop this on turn 6 for 2 if I'm running Zabu, this card's going to be legit. So in this video right here of the announcement, they show it pairing up with Surfer. Now, one of the things I have to consider, so I've been running this Agent Dino deck, so I pull random cards. I've gotten Valkyrie a couple times, and what I've learned is this does not work on ongoing cards. So that's the only place I will be a little bit cautious, but let me tell you this. One of the biggest decks that I have like difficulty with Majantress is like a Surfer deck, okay? So if I can drop this thing on a Surfer deck that's beefing up Bruise because usually the cards sit right below 9 power, so I can't blow them up with Shang-Chi, this card is going to be phenomenal, all right? This is one of the few cards, maybe I'll make a video on the cards that I'm planning on like, you know, breaking my rule and spending 6,000 tokens on, because there are just a few. There are very, very few. And they're actually the cards I don't think enough people are talking about. This one, I think people are talking about this a decent amount, but like the previous 3 that I just discussed, those are getting a lot more play time, all right? So yeah, anyways, I just wanted to discuss this because everything I see, there's like a lot of hype, a lot of discussion, everything like that. And I might be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong. I'll be the first to admit it. I like being proven wrong, but like I said, I feel like one of my skills that I bring to the table is looking at worst case scenario, right? Like my favorite type of books are ones on like decision making and like biases and heuristics and thinking errors. And one of the things we don't do enough is get past our optimism bias and say, hey, what is the worst thing that can happen? So I hope I like shed some light on this. I hope it just got you thinking. So if you're just like gearing up and waiting for these to come out, like if you wanna get them, like if any of these cards make you happy, if you just love running zoo decks more than anything on earth, go for it. Do your thing, all right? But me personally, I'm just saying, like, I find zoo decks just delicious, okay? So maybe this, has you like thinking about them a little bit more and stuff like that. If there's any other cards that you want me to discuss, if there's any Series 4 or Series 5, because like I said, Absorbing Man was not getting nearly enough attention when that card came out. Now it's all the hype, all the buzz, everybody's saying, oh, I don't have Absorbing Man. I spent my tokens on, Galactus or Thanos or, whatever. And like, yeah, so maybe I'll do a tier list. I think it would be different than a lot of the other ones. But anyways, video's longer than I thought. I thought this was gonna be like a 5-minute video, but your boy can talk. All right, so that's all I got for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, and head down to the description, join our awesome Discord community. Hundreds of people in there just snapping it up, talking snap, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming, especially when battle mode comes out. Wink, wink. More information on that sooner. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe. And follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. That is also linked down below. I make announcements over there. I tweet a lot about, gameplay and everything like that. And I do monthly giveaways for the season pass. All right, so follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. Okay, but anyways, that's all I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.